One of the final things Moshe Rabbeinu did in his life was write 13 Sifrei Torah. He wrote 12 Sifrei Torah for each of the 12 tribes, each of the 12 Shvatim, and then he wrote one more Sefer Torah to be put inside the Aron for eternity. The Aron was with the Yidden through the Mishkan, through the Beis HaMikdash, and even now, it is still underground. Many Mefarshim ask on this, and the Gemara talks about it as well. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu need to write one for all the 12 Shvatim? He could have just written one. And even if he wanted each Shevet, each tribe, to get their own Sefer Torah, why did he write one to be put in the Aron? Every single Jew is part of one of the 12 tribes. Every single Jew has a Sefer Torah to go to. Why do you need one to put in the Aron? The Gemara actually answers that the reason for this is that over time, things might get changed by mistake, or even chas v'shalom on purpose. But they know that they always have one master copy they can go look at if they want the real, authentic Torah. There's a big problem with that though, because at the end of the day, the Sefer Torah that was put in the Aron was never actually opened. So where would they get that true copy? Was that really the reason why Moshe wrote an additional Sefer Torah? It's especially important because this was right before Moshe passed away. So this is very important as part of the message that he wants to give to the Jews before he leaves the physical world. And explains the Rebbe that this is a very similar idea to what we see by the Nesiim much later on. And the Rebbe explains that this actually perfectly ties into the day the Mishkan was established just a little while earlier. What happened was, every single Shevet brought their own karban. The leader of each tribe, the Nasi of each tribe, brought their own special karban to Hashem. However, it was the exact same karban for each Shevet. And the Torah lists the very long list of things that were brought in that karban 12 times for each of the 12 Shvatim. Why couldn't the Torah just say all the Shvatim brought this at separate times? And explains the Rebbe, there's a quality of every Yid going in his own path. Everyone has a different mission in life, and everyone has a different obligation to fulfill. Everyone has different enjoyments, and therefore everybody gets to serve Hashem in their own way. But at the same time, you can't lose sight of the klal. You can't lose sight of the community. You can't lose sight of being part of the bigger picture. What Moshe Rabbeinu was telling the Jews is that while you all have your own Sefer Torah, you all have your own way of living life, you all have your own way of interpreting the Torah, you can't lose sight of the master copy. You can't lose sight of the master plan. To use our own talents, to use our own ways of learning, to come together as a community, to come together as a nation. Because that's what we're here for. And when Hashem sees that we do that, especially at a time that we're right near Yom Kippur, we're right near the time where our fate for this upcoming year will be sealed and set in for good. When we all come together using our individual talents, but nevertheless come together as a community and as a nation who works together as one, then there's only good things heading our way. That's the message that Moshe wanted to teach to the Yidden right before he passed away. To use the talents that Hashem gave you, use your individual abilities, use it for the good, but don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't lose sight of the master copy, because that will not just give us a good year, it'll ultimately bring the coming of Mashiach. May he come speedily in our days. Wishing everybody a good Shabbos.